we got us a new video. This is every crazy Pixar movie theory that might actually be true explained in 21 minutes. Let's get it.
Boo started the Pixar shared universe. The theory says Boo grew up, mastered portal travel using wood door tech from Monsters, Inc., and became the mysterious witch in Brave. Inside...
Wait, what? Wait, whoa, wait, no. No. We're not gonna just start off like that. That's such a crazy pull. That's the first 5 seconds, dude.
Boo started the Pixar shared universe. The theory says Boo grew up, mastered portal travel
Making Boo tall is so crazy.
Using wood door tech from Monsters, Inc., and became the mysterious witch in Brave.
How, though?
Inside her hut, there's a carving that looks...
Oh, that do look like Sully. Hold on now. That do look like Sully a little bit. I've never heard this theory. I never heard this theory.
It's exactly like Sully and a model of the Pizza Planet truck, two things Boo would definitely recognize. She disappears through wooden doors just like the ones monsters use to portal into the human world. And get this,
she disappears through wooden doors in Brave?
witch is obsessed with bears just like Boo was with Sully, who looks close enough to a bear. The idea is that she time traveled from the distant future back to medieval Scotland, became the witch, and sparked the magic that changed animals, toys, and machines forever.
Hold on, no. That might be, that's a little cooked there. Was she accidentally time traveling, or she went there on purpose to become an old lady? But how would she... I need to hear more about this theory. Okay. Alex Bale, take notes, brother.
That's how the Pixar timeline kicks off, starting with Boo's magic and those strange wooden doors. Nemo isn't real. The theory argues that after the Barracuda attack, Marlin's entire journey is his mind coping with grief.
That's very believable. Grief can make you do a lot of crazy things. That's actually very believable. I think I've also heard this one.
Not an actual rescue mission. The film starts with tragedy.
In PTSD.
And that surviving egg becomes Nemo, whose name literally means nobody in Latin. Supporters say that's not coincidence. Marlin's obsessive protection, paranoia, and guilt fit the stages of grief.
See, I just said grief make you do a lot of crazy things.
Denial in creating Nemo, anger at losing him, bargaining through the journey, depression in his despair, and acceptance when he finally lets Nemo go. The story's focus stays on Marlin's emotions more than Nemo's actions, as if
True.
the adventure happens inside Marlin's head. When he allows Nemo independence at the end, it represents healing, not a reunion. So the theory sees Nemo as Marlin's imagined child, his way of surviving the loss of everyone he loved. By the way, if you guys like movie content like this, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, Edna purposely gave Syndrome a cape. Her no capes rule is famous, backed by a brutal list of hero deaths, including one yanked into a...
Wait, she made Syndrome's suit? She made his suit? I'm not remembering. I'm not remembering this. It's a theory that she made it. But she doesn't... let me hear the theory.
Jet turbine. So why did Syndrome end up with one? The theory claims Edna, knowing exactly how dangerous capes are, designed his suit with that flaw on purpose. She'd seen heroes die from this exact mistake, so giving a known villain that design feels way too precise to be an accident. Syndrome's dramatic end? Pulled into a jet turbine by the very cape she told everyone never to wear. Fans believe she added the cape deliberately, using her legendary design skills to slip in a fatal flaw. Given her deep connections in the superworld and her pride in tailoring perfection, this twist turns her into a stealthy genius who protects heroes not with powers, but precision. Sid becomes a hero. The theory starts with him being the toy-torturing neighbor kid in Toy Story, famous for that skull shirt and bad attitude. But after his toys come to life and freak him out, something clearly changes. Fast forward to Toy Story 3, and there's a garbage man in the same skull shirt,
I did see this theory. I feel like Alex Bale covered this.
Changes. Fast forward to Toy Story 3, and there's a garbage man in the same skull shirt, rocking the same wild hair and goggles. Fans say that's Sid, all grown up. But here's the twist. Instead of seeing this as a punishment, the theory claims Sid took the job on purpose. Garbage men get access to loads of discarded stuff, especially old toys. If Sid knows toys are alive, then working trash routes gives him the chance to find and rescue the ones other people throw away. The character match and the timing line up, and his job makes sense as a quiet redemption arc, saving toys from the fate he once gave them. Cars killed humans. The theory starts...
Whoa, I have not heard this one. Hold on.
with what's missing: people. Not a single human appears in the Cars movies,
True.
yet everything around the cars was clearly built for them. Roads, signage, windows, even door handles.
You're right, because if nobody's supposed to be in the cars, why do you have handles? Nobody's supposed to be in the cars. Why do we have the handles? Hold on.
The vehicles still have mirrors and human-shaped cabins.
Yo, what the fuck was that? No. No, we're not just gonna pass by that one, buddy. We all saw that one. We're not just gonna slide past that one.
Signage, windows, even door handles. The vehicles still have mirrors and
The fuck is that? That shit is egregious. Why is he? It's like he got a pamper on. Oh my god.
human-shaped cabins, which wouldn't exist if the world had always belonged to cars. RVs and campers still roam around too, designed to house people, but there's no one inside. Pixar's own creative director floated the idea that cars may have absorbed the personalities of their last drivers, or decided humans were unnecessary and got rid of them.
Oh my
Supporters
God.
note that the films offer no clues about how cars reproduce or evolved, and theories place cars deep in the Pixar timeline long after humanity's been wiped out or replaced. So the factual pieces line up. Human infrastructure, vehicle designs made for passengers, the eerie emptiness of the world, and no explanation of origin. It all leads to one unsettling conclusion. Humans didn't leave, they got replaced. WALL-E started the apocalypse.
Not too much. Not too much on my dog. Hold on. Not too much on my dog, bro.
Theory says those cute little trash compactors didn't just clean up Earth, they helped ruin it. WALL-E units were sent to deal with the garbage overload from by and large, but instead of reducing the mess, they just compacted it into cubes and stacked it into towers. In the movie, Earth's completely abandoned, choked with garbage mountains, and humanity's living on a cruise ship in space. The one surviving WALL-E unit is still building those towers centuries later, which fans say means they weren't solving the trash problem at all. The theory argues that by endlessly stacking waste instead of eliminating it, the WALL-E robots actually.
How the fuck were they supposed to eliminate? You can't just eliminate it. How? Bro. That's not WALL-E's fault. That's the programmer's fault. They were made too compacted. He's trying his best. They were made to compact it and do something with it. They weren't made to get rid of it. You can't build a compactor and want it to eliminate the trash. It's gonna compact it like you built it to do. He's doing his job.
Sped up the planet's collapse. Since the film shows Earth's uninhabitability right after their cleanup mission, the robots might have turned a crisis into a full-blown apocalypse. Onward is Andy's imagination. The theory suggests the entire quest with Ian and Barley is just one of Andy's fantasy stories, built from his toy-driven world in Toy Story. Onward's land.
I've never watched this, so I couldn't really give you too much insight on this one.
And is full of magic that's fading away, and that idea fits right into how a kid might mix up fantasy and reality during play. Andy's dad is never shown in Toy Story, and Onward's whole plot is about two boys trying to see their dad again, so fans link that emotional core to Andy processing his own situation. Onward has zero human characters besides the father, which makes the theory even stronger, like it's just part of a pretend universe from a child's point of view. There are also Easter eggs from other Pixar films scattered in the background, which the timeline theory uses to place Onward far in the future. That makes it the perfect mashup of magic and tech, a world Andy could have easily dreamed up using his toys and imagination. Wood is magic. This theory claims that wood is the actual power source behind time portals and dimensional travel. In Brave, the witch's door vanishes with magic and it's carved entirely from wood. Her hut's full of wooden carvings, including one that looks like Sully, linking her magic to later Pixar films. In Onward, the last trace.
Hold on now. Hold on now. There is a pause. I was about to say something. So, anyway, you know what? Matter of fact, I am gonna say it. There is a lot of magic tied to this wood, bruh. I'm not pausing. There's a lot of magic tied to the wood, bruh. Pause, not pause. But like, come on, bruh.
Pieces of magic are built from wood, no high-tech junk, just enchanted sticks and relics. Fans argue that's no accident. Even the portals in Monsters, Inc. have wooden frames, hinting.
Now, it is powered, but like in order for the door to get activated, it had to be fully pieced together. That's why Sully had to piece them together with not Sully, Mike. Didn't Mike piece the door together after they shredded it? So like this, How does that power work? Wait. When you remember that one part where all the doors were stacked and he was just lifting the doors and it was bringing them into new places? It wasn't even in one of these. They were just sitting on the ground and they were pulling the doors open, and they were able to travel through the doors when they were running. Hold on. It really might be that. Because they were not in these little things. They were not being powered. Hold on.
Thinking that the monsters unknowingly use leftover magic tech. The PIXAR timeline places Brave and Onward in the early magical eras before machines took over, suggesting magic faded when the world moved past wood. So the theory ties it all together. Wooden doors, wooden tools, ancient carving. Every major portal in PIXAR starts with a tree. Bong was a monster. The theory says Riley's imaginary friend is a monster from Monsters, Inc., who used the doors to visit her when she was little. Bong's weird shape, part cat, part elephant, part dolphin, is exactly the kind of bizarre combo monsters have. He makes her laugh, collects memories, and vanishes when she gets older, which matches how monsters stop visiting kids who age out of the laugh program. In Inside Out, he disappears in the memory dump, but fans argue that's just Riley forgetting the visits, not Bong dying.
Boy, I couldn't, bruh. I can't watch that shit, bruh.
Monsters, Inc. already showed how monsters enter kids' rooms to harvest energy, so the link between them is right there. The shared PIXAR universe theory lets characters cross films, and Bong fits perfectly as a monster who once made Riley laugh and then returned home when she grew up. Abby and Boo are the same person. This theory connects Boo from Monsters, Inc. to Abby Park in Turning Red, using small but specific details. Boo is a toddler obsessed with soft things and wears pink and purple. Abby also wears pink and purple, has bangs, rocks floral overalls, and completely melts over May's red panda fluff. Boo's bedroom door has flower patterns, and Abby's entire look matches that exact
flower. Hold on. I can see it a little bit. Hold on.
Vibe. Fans point to this as more than just coincidence. Boo clung to Sully like he was a giant teddy bear, and Abby hugs that red panda like it's a long-lost cousin. The PIXAR theory timeline suggests Boo could have grown up and crossed into a different part of the shared universe, popping up again in the Turning Red. If that's true, Abby might just be the grown-up version of Boo, still loud, still obsessed with fluffy creatures, and still rocking the flowers. Randall is Andy's monster. The theory kicks off.
Randall is Andy's monster. How do you make that work? No. How do you make that work?
Off with the cloud pattern wallpaper in Andy's bedroom. Andy's monster. The theory kicks off with the cloud pattern wallpaper in Andy's bedroom.
Okay.
It's one of the most iconic visuals in Toy Story. In Monsters, Inc., there's a scene where Randall trains his stealth skills in a room that has the exact same.
No, wait, hold on. Nah, that's actually really big. Hold on.
Cloud wallpaper. Supporters say that's no random design choice, it's a direct clue. The shared PIXAR universe theory already links Toy Story and Monsters, Inc., making crossover like this completely possible. Randall's role as a scarer would have placed him in real kids' rooms, and if he trained using Andy's, that implies he was assigned to him. Andy's closet door in Toy Story, with its striped white design, matches the kind used in Monsters, Inc. training scenes.
Shit's starting to click. Hold on, chat.
Adding another layer of connection. The idea is that Andy, like other children, had a monster visiting through his closet, and the facts point to Randall as that monster. Before turning full villain, Randall might have been scaring Andy nightly, using his stealth and invisibility to collect screams in the very room Toy Story fans know so well. Carl's journey to the afterlife. The theory starts with the
We're not doing that. I don't like nothing about that. Carl's not meant to die. All right? Carl lives forever. Okay? You about to piss me off here. You about to get me out of character. And I don't want that.
Emotional montage of Carl's life with Ellie, their love, heartbreak, and her death. After losing her, Carl becomes isolated, clinging to their home filled with memories. Supporters note that shortly after Ellie's funeral, Carl falls asleep in his chair, and the next major event is the house lifting off the ground, carried by balloons. That ascent is interpreted as his soul rising, not just his house. His journey to Paradise Falls then
I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I don't like this one.
Becomes a metaphor for passing on.
I don't like this
Russell,
one.
trying to earn his final badge by helping Carl, fits the role of a guardian guiding a soul to peace.
I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I don't like this one.
The house, full of Carl's life, is eventually let go, symbolizing release from earthly ties. Charles Muntz is seen as a fallen figure, tempting Carl with bitterness and obsession. The facts align: Carl's loss, his sudden flight upward, the spiritual feel of Paradise Falls, and his final moment of peace. The theory says he died grieving, and everything after is him learning to let go and join Ellie on the other side. Pizza Planet Time Machine. The theory says that the iconic Pizza Planet truck is a time-traveling vehicle scattered across the PIXAR.
Yo, that motherfucker, bro, I seen this shit. That motherfucker is literally in every damn near every movie, if not every movie. No. Like, this truck is literally everywhere, bro.
PIXAR universe. The truck first shows up in Toy Story as a delivery vehicle with a rocket on top and a RES1536 license plate, but it keeps popping up in films set in totally different time periods. In Brave, it's carved from wood in the witch's medieval hut. In WALL-E, it's rusting away in a future Earth long after humanity is gone. Despite centuries and environments, the truck's look never changes. It even shows up in abstract places like dream sequences in Inside Out. Supporters use these facts to argue that the truck moves through them. No matter the century, the style, or the setting, the Pizza Planet truck rolls in, unchanged.
Oh God,
like
the truck is dead ass there, Stan Lee. All those fucking cameos Stan Lee was doing, this is dead ass that.
It's not bound by time. Andy's mom was Jessie's owner. The theory starts with Jessie's flashback in Toy Story 2, where her original owner, Emily, wears a red cowgirl hat with a white lace band. That hat matches the one Andy wears in Toy Story. Same color, same shape, but Andy's is missing the lace, and there's even a faded mark where it used to be. Supporters say that detail connects the hats, implying it was passed down. Emily's bedroom in the flashback has vintage decor, record player, older posters, suggesting her childhood happened years before Andy's. That timeline fits if Emily grew up and became Andy.
Hold on.
Mom. Jessie's heartbreak over being forgotten echoes the Toy Story theme of kids growing up and toys being left behind. Andy's deep connection to Woody parallels what Emily had with Jessie. Since the films never give Andy's mom a full backstory and only refer to her as Mrs. Davis, fans use that narrative gap to tie it all together. Jessie belonged to Emily. Emily's hat ends up with Andy. The theory says that's no coincidence. It's a generational hand-me-down from mother to son. Syndrome invented the AI in Cars. The theory links his tech genius in The Incredibles to the rise of sentient vehicles in cars. Syndrome built autonomous robots, advanced suits, and weapons powered by zero-point energy, far beyond the tech of his time. Fans point out that The Incredibles is set decades before Cars in the shared Pixar timeline, meaning his inventions could have sparked a wave of AI development. The Cars films show vehicles with full personalities, social systems, and no visible humans, just machines living like people. Supporters argue that this is the long-term result of machines gaining self-awareness, something Syndrome already proved was possible. His creations operated independently and made decisions, just like the cars do later. Since Pixar never shows how cars became sentient, the theory fills that gap by crediting Syndrome's early break.
I need a little bit more ties. I need a little bit more evidence besides him being a genius.
His drive to replace superheroes with tech could have accidentally laid the foundation for a future where machines no longer need people at all. The WALL-E and Bugs Life connection. In WALL-E, the robot discovers a single green sprout growing in a boot, first sign of life on a dead Earth. By the end, that plant is placed into the soil, and the credits show it growing into a full tree while humans start to repopulate and rebuild. In A Bug's Life, a massive tree stands alone as the central hub for the insect world. Supporters point out that the Pixar theory timeline places A Bug's Life long after WALL-E, in a future where nature is recovered and humans are gone. The tree's isolated presence and importance to the ant colony match the idea of it being the first tree to return, since the films both feature a single standout tree.
Hold on, because if it revolves around, like, they're so colonized and that tree is their their one all be all, because that's the only tree left. That's why everybody's like in that same space, you know?
And share universe connections, fans argue that the boot plant from WALL-E eventually becomes the iconic tree in A Bug's Life, growing over centuries into a thriving habitat for future insect life. 22 becomes May or Russell. The theory starts with 22's journey in Seoul. She's mentored by history's greatest minds, but refuses to go to Earth until something finally sparks her interest. At the end, she drops into life, but her exact human identity is never revealed. That's where fans jump in. Some point out that in Seoul, 22 faces west toward China just before entering Earth, and Mei Li is a Chinese-Canadian teen dealing with transformation and emotion, fitting themes for a Seoul's first experience. Others think 22 becomes Russell from Up, since his wide-eyed enthusiasm and love for life feel like the natural outcome of 22's arc from cynical to curious.
Okay.
Both Russell and Mei show traits of someone seeing Earth with fresh perspective. Since 22's landing is never confirmed, and both characters match her energy and background clues, the theory leaves the door open that either of them could be her human form. Edna mode was inspired by Randall's invisibility. In The Incredibles, Edna creates a custom suit for Violet that can turn invisible, an advanced feature that syncs perfectly with Violet's powers. The Disney Wiki confirms the suit material itself vanishes with her, which means Edna mastered tech that responds to invisibility. Over in Monsters Inc., Randall Boggs is defined by his ability to disappear at will. He adapts his body to blend in.
He doesn't disappear though. Violet's power is that she disappears. Like, she full on disappears. He doesn't disappear, he blends.
Even ditching his glasses so he won't be seen. Supporters of the theory say Randall's stealth ability could have influenced Edna, especially within the shared PIXAR universe. One fan theory suggests Randall time traveled or somehow encountered Edna, sparking the idea to incorporate invisibility into superhero fashion. While that part's speculative, the factual link is strong. Randall uses invisibility naturally, Edna develops it
He camouflages. He camouflages.
Officially, both are obsessed with perfection, Randall in scare tactics, Edna in design. The theory uses these facts to connect Randall's biological ability.
He can go invisible. He doesn't though. He doesn't go invisible. The difference, here's the difference. I'll spell it out for you, right? He doesn't go invisible because if he opens his mouth, you can see him. Violet, once she goes invisible, no matter if she's blinking or not, her flesh is invisible. It's not camouflaged. There's a difference.
With Edna's technological breakthrough, hinting that the tech behind Violet's suit didn't come from nowhere. It may have been inspired by a certain purple, slippery monster from another timeline. A Bug's Life and Toy Story take place at the same time. Supporters point out that A Bug's Life takes place under a trailer, surrounded by trash, clearly part of a human-built area. Toy Story happens in a suburban neighborhood filled with homes, yards, and streets, which lines up perfectly with that kind of environment. In fact, the ant colony's city could easily sit in the backyard of Andy's neighborhood. Pixar's shared universe theory backs this up, placing both films in the same general time frame. There are also known cross-film references and Easter eggs that connect the two worlds, even if they're not sharing scenes. Because bugs and toys occupy different physical scales, the idea is that the stories could unfold simultaneously without the characters ever crossing paths. The timeline supports overlapping eras, and the trailer shown in A Bug's Life matches human structures that appear across Toy Story. Using these details,
because Randall, he ended up going through the door in one of these. They beat the shit out of his ass.
Life matches human structures that appear across Toy Story. Using these details, human-adjacent settings, matching environments, shared visuals, and compatible time frames, fans argue the two films are happening side by side in the same town, the Emma Jean theory. Supporters start with a postcard in Up addressed to Carl and Ellie Fredrickson from someone named Emma Jean, a character who's never introduced, and Ellie Fredrickson from someone named Emma.
We're having a swell time wishing you were here. Okay.
Jean, a character who's never introduced but whose name appears clearly. That exact name shows up again in Toy Story 3 materials, on a background object in storage. Emma Jean isn't listed as a character in either film, yet the name recurs, making it stand out. Pete Docter, director of Up, once commented that Emma Jean was Carl's love interest before Ellie, adding a deeper backstory that never made it on screen. Fans use these facts to suggest Emma Jean is a hidden thread across Pixar films, possibly a recurring recurring character or figure behind the scenes of multiple stories. Since Pixar loves planting Easter eggs and weaving subtle links across its universe, the repeat appearance of her name, without a face, feels intentional. With just a postcard and a comment from Dr. Emma Jean goes from forgotten.
Imagine niggas just making theories and going through all of this and just trying to piece together shit, and then Pixar is just like, oh, we need something to fill up this space. We'll reuse one of our assets. Just throw it in there. Not intentionally be like, yeah, the theorists are gonna love this. Nah, just use one of our assets. Throw it in there randomly right here. Put it right here. You know what I'm saying? Just to fill up space. And niggas is making whole theories about this, and these niggas was just trying to fill space. That would be fucking hilarious, bro. Imagine, and they came out was like, yeah, I don't know where all these theories are coming from. We were just these are assets we own. We were just trying to fill space. Like, I'd be so sick. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be so fucking sick.
Side note, to secret connector in the Pixar multiverse, possibly hinting at untold relationships or generational ties hidden in plain sight. By and Large is an evil corporation. The theory uses straight up facts from Wall-E's world to paint BNL as a mega conglomerate that swallowed entire industries. By 2057, they owned everything from government systems to power grids, hospitals, and even...
That's literally what's happening now. We have monopolies, Chad. Amazon owns everything. Disney owns everything. Like there's like, bro, chat, out of everything in the world, there's like 5 companies that own everything. They're all trickle down companies owned by this and that and then, bro, it's gonna happen. One big one's gonna buy another big one for this billions and trillions of dollars, and then it's gonna be 4 companies and then 2 companies and then, oh my god, look who owns everything.
Space programs. In WALL-E, their logo is slapped on every screen, every uniform, every ship. They caused the trash crisis with unchecked consumerism, then launched Operation Cleanup to fix their own mess by sending humans into space and leaving robots behind. Over time, they basically became the government, running the Axiom ship and deciding how people live for centuries. Critics even called the film a warning about corporate control and environmental collapse. All that branding, all that control, all that waste, BNL ran everything. All Pixar movies are about the apocalypse. The theory says every Pixar film forms part of one massive timeline, charting the rise and collapse of civilization. Early films like Brave show magic and intelligent animals. Then come modern era stories like Toy Story, where toys are alive but humans still run the world. Later, the balance shifts. Machines gain power, like in The Incredibles and Cars, where humans are absent or replaced. Finally, WALL-E reveals Earth as a trashed wasteland, abandoned by humans, overrun by garbage, with only robots left. That's not metaphor. It's the actual setting of the film. The Pizza Planet truck and other recurring Easter eggs link the films together. Analysts use this steady pattern from Enchanted Forest to Dead Earth to argue that Pixar's stories quietly tell a unified saga of downfall. Magic fades, tech takes over, humanity collapses, and the world...
That's not too far off, actually. That's not too far off, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
World ends up ruled by evolved animals and machines. It's a slow apocalypse told in reverse, fun stories on the surface, existential ruin underneath. Allanol is actually by and large. In Cars 2, Allanol is introduced as a clean fuel alternative created by Miles Axelrod, but it's revealed to be a setup, an engineered fuel designed to explode under specific conditions. According to the Pixar wiki, the name Allanol is a play on all in all, just like by and large plays on by and large, suggesting a naming pattern linked by corporate branding. In Cars 3, by and large is shown to still exist.
What the fuck? Hold on now. Wait a minute. This, I don't know. These type of like I get you. Yeah, we own the, but like that's a little, you know what I'm saying?
This now sponsoring a major racetrack called BNL Raceway.
That isn't ridiculous to say that, you know what I'm saying?
Which proves the corporation operates within the Cars universe. The shared Pixar timeline places Cars in a far future post-human era, meaning BNL's involvement would fit. Supporters argue that All in All was simply a deceptive energy project by the same mega corporation, another chapter in BNL's long history of controlling resources and manufacturing crises. The fake green energy scheme mirrors BNL's consumer manipulation in WALL-E, further tying the two brands together with the branding clues, corporate behavior.
What if, hear me out, what if the Pixar writers were telling us what Disney's plans are? What if the B&L and Pixar is a representation of Disney.
In Wall-E, further tying the two brands together. With the branding clues, corporate behavior, and direct B&L appearance in Cars 3, the theory claims Alanol is just B&L in disguise, continuing its influence under a new name in a world now run by machines. Toy Story 3 is a metaphor for World War II Germany. Supporters of this theory begin with Andy abandoning the toys as he leaves for college, which they interpret as a metaphor for populations being left behind during the rise of Nazi control. The toys are boxed up, loaded into a car trunk, and unknowingly delivered to Sunnyside Daycare.
Okay. That works. That's fine. That works. That's fine. That works. That works.
A stand-in for forced relocation. Once there, they're segregated by age, mistreated, and trapped.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Rivals like them are sent to the Caterpillar room, where they face chaos and physical abuse. When Buzz proposes hiding in the attic, fans note the parallel to
Oh Lord, now this shit get too real, cuz. Hold on. This shit get too real, cuz. Hold on. Okay.
Jewish families hiding in secret spaces like Anne Frank's. The climax sends the toys into a trash facility with a massive incinerator. Supporters point out this is symbolically aligned with crematoria. Imagery. Lotso, the bear who runs the daycare, is framed in fan theories as a stand-in for Hitler, manipulative, charming at first, and ultimately authoritarian.
This is fitting a little too much. This is fitting a little too much.
Toys' near destruction and final rescue by the Pizza Planet Claw, operated by the aliens, represents external salvation and the idea of post-war refuge, especially when they are rehomed with Bonnie. These facts are used to frame the film as a metaphor for survival, loss, and rescue during the Holocaust. If you enjoyed this, I post movie content.
Okay. That last one was a little, that was a lot. Shout out to, my guy Movies Explained. That was shout out to you. That was a good one. Great vid. Great. Good vid. Great.